My husband ordered me to deliver a boy. Otherwise, as he said, had lose his money. I felt weird. What kind of money is he talking about? I wondered. I can't tell you how happy I was when the pregnancy results showed 2 lines. Josh and I had been trying for a baby for 2 years, and the wait had finally come to an end. I was over the moon. I called Josh and informed him as soon as I saw the test results. "Honey, we're finally going to become parents," I told him cheerfully. "Oh God, Claire. Are you serious?" he exclaimed joyfully. "I can't believe this." My eyes welled up with tears. "Yes, honey. We will have our little one soon." "I just hope everything goes fine," I said in a trembling voice. Josh could tell I was getting emotional. "Don't cry, Claire. Everything will be fine," he said calmly. "I will finish work early and be home soon. After all, I have to be with my wife all the time now. I need to make sure none of her requests go unanswered." I blushed. "Love you, Josh, and see you soon." "Love you too, Claire," Josh said and hung up the phone. From that day on, Josh looked after me like a mother looking after her newborn. He would pay attention to the smallest of things, such as serving me breakfast on time, not allowing me to carry heavy objects, and accompanying me to all of my doctor's appointments. Josh had been a workaholic for as long as I could remember, but the changes I noticed in him over the last 3 months made my belief stronger that I couldn't have found a better partner. When Josh and I got married 3 years back, my parents were utterly against our relationship, the reason being our financial differences. Josh and I come from very different walks of life. I come from a middle-class family, while he comes from a wealthy family. So my parents assumed Josh was a rich jerk who would do anything for money and abandon me one day if I refused to follow his demands. They even threatened to disown me if I married Josh, but before they could do anything, I left them and flew to Josh's hometown. Josh and I got married soon after that and decided to start a family. Unfortunately, we had a difficult time for the first 2 years, but Josh stood by my side, which made me believe he would never abandon me. But one day, all my hopes were dashed. The man I loved with all my heart used me as an object to ensure that he received his inheritance. We had gone to the hospital for some tests that day. Josh's mother, Rosalind, also joined us. It seemed strange that she decided to accompany us because she never left her high-class bungalow. Even in cases of medical emergencies, she'd have all the doctors available to her at her home. Visiting a hospital was so below her standards, I tell you. But then, I thought she was concerned about her grandchild and me. Sadly, I couldn't have been more wrong. "I hope everything went well and my grandson is healthy," Rosalind said to the nurse as she entered my room after the tests. "Well, ma'am, there's nothing to worry about, but as far as the child's gender is concerned, we'll have to wait until the reports come," the nurse replied. Rosalind gave a stern glance at Josh. "The child has to be a boy, otherwise, you won't get a single penny of the money." I felt weird. What kind of money are they even talking about? I wondered. I thought of asking Josh what his mother meant, but Josh spoke up before I could say anything. "Don't worry, Mom. It'll be a son. There's no chance my first child is going to be a daughter." I was taken aback. "Josh, what are you even saying?" I asked him anxiously. "How does it matter if our child is a son or daughter? We'll love our baby regardless of the gender." "No, Claire." Josh looked at me angrily. "I want a son. That's why I married you." "What the hell? I thought you loved me," I told him firmly. Josh gave me a pitying glance. "Well, I don't hate you, Claire, but the reason why I married you was that boys were always born first in your family. And to become the next heir to my family, I need a son. But Josh." Before I could finish my sentence, Rosalind cut me off. "Don't overthink, girl. My son fed you for so many years and looked after you, so don't even think about having a daughter. It'll be a disgrace to our family, and your husband will lose all the money." I looked at Josh. "This is not right, Joshua. It makes no difference to me whether the child is a boy or a girl." Josh took a step forward and warned me. "I don't care how you do it, Claire, but it has to be a boy. I am not giving up on the money." I was heartbroken. I couldn't believe the man I trusted and adored turned out to be exactly what my parents had assumed, a rich brat who would do anything for a buck. I sat in despair for several hours, not knowing what to do. Because I had fought with my own family and left them, I didn't have anywhere to go. And now the man I loved was just after money. I thought maybe if I gave things a little time, they'd get better, but nothing changed. In fact, Josh became even more adamant about having a son, and he began imposing ridiculous rituals and bizarre diet regimens on me. "Darling, I know what you need to do to have a boy," he exclaimed when he arrived home from work one day. "Oh really? What is it?" I inquired in a sad tone. "Start eating 2 pounds of raw beef every day, followed by a cup of hot spicy tea," he advised. "Oh, and when you're having dinner, you should ignite some special herbs." I was shocked. "Josh, that's not healthy for the baby or me," Josh retorted. "I don't know anything, Claire, but you're doing as I say." Sadly, that's exactly what happened. Josh forced me to eat meat and drink tea for dinner. And soon after, I was lying breathless on the floor. The next thing I remember, I was in a hospital when I opened my eyes. "It was severe food poisoning, but you're lucky nothing happened to you," the nurse told me. "Thank you for your help," I replied in a low voice. "But where is my husband?" "I'll call him now," the nurse said and left. 3 stories where a husband doesn't value his wife and gets what he deserves. My husband rewrote his will behind my back, and I can't forgive him. My father set a dirty plan in motion while my mom was at the hospital. Soon, I saw Josh and Rosalind entering the room. "I can't believe you're so weak, Claire," Josh yelled at me. "I don't think you'll ever give birth to a healthy child, so I'm leaving you." I was shocked. "Josh, are you out of your mind? I'm lying sick here because of what you made me do, and that's all you have to say? What's done is done, Claire." "So, goodbye," he said and was about to leave when a doctor walked in. "There's nothing to worry about, Claire. You and your son are healthy," he told me. The moment Josh heard the word son, he changed his temperament. He started apologizing and said he'd take good care of me, but I took a stand this time, and I firmly told him I was leaving him. I didn't want my child to grow up around someone as nasty as him. So, finally, we separated. 6 months later, my son was born. I went back to my parents, and we are now extremely happy with our lives. I am also currently working so Donato doesn't miss out on anything. Yeah, I've named my son Donato because it means gift from God. After all, he was a blessing that gave me the strength to leave my terrible husband. What can we learn from this story? Gender discrimination is pathetic and should be stopped. Children are a gift from God. Share this story with your friends. It might brighten their day and inspire them.